Hello and welcome to the Box Score Breakdown presented to you by FanDuel. I'm your host, William Harris, aka William is Bill. Welcome to the Box Score Breakdown, where we break down the games of the night, give you all the news, notes, stats, who you should pick up, who you should drop, all that good stuff for your fantasy needs. Today we had a 4-game slate, and it was a fun day of basketball. And if you love basketball, you got to subscribe to the Box Score Breakdown. I know most of you are listening right now on the Fantasy NBA Today podcast. Shout out to Aaron Brewski and Dr. A, absolute legends. And subscribe to us, subscribe to them. Check us out on YouTube. We are also recording live right now on YouTube, X, all that good stuff. But like I said, 4 games tonight. Let's get straight to it like it's nothing to it. All right, first game we're going to talk about. The Rockets defeated the Clippers 115-113. Clippers continuing to struggle. But Kawhi Leonard had a really nice game. 24 points, 9 boards, 4 assists, 5 steals. That's what we're talking about. And 1 block. So Kawhi, as long as he's healthy, he's going to keep putting up numbers like this. We'll see what turns up from this team because they're struggling. John Collins, speaking of struggling, only 9 points, 2 assists. He did have 2 steals, but 3 for 7 from the field. Nothing there. Terrible game. But Ivica Zubac had a great game. 33 points, 7 boards, 1 assist, 1 steal, and 2 blocks. And he's not... This is a rare outing for Ivica Zubac. He normally is, this year, been average, slightly above average. This was a breakout performance, so hopefully he can keep this up. James Harden had 22 points, 3 boards, 7 assists, 3 steals. Solid game for James Harden. We know he can do a little more than that, but good performance. Chris Dunn started 9 points, 6 assists, 2 steals. That's what you expect from Chris Dunn. Off the bench, Bogdan Bogdanovic, the only player in double figures. 10 points, 5 boards, 1 steal. So it wasn't much for the Clippers tonight. You know, they had Kobe Sanders had been doing well. He played 9 minutes, no real stats. It was just a struggle. And, you know, they're not going to win unless John Collins is putting up 20 and 10, and he's far from it this year. For the Rockets, Kevin Durant, only 16 points. Not much else, either 3 assists, but he doesn't have to carry the load in Houston, so that helps. He can cruise to the playoffs and then turn it on there. Jabari Smith, 18 and 10, 4 assists and a steal. That's what we're looking for Jabari Smith. If he can do that every night, the Rockets are golden. Alperen Sengun, 22 and 15 with 5 assists and 4 steals. 4 steals for the big man, Alperen Sengun. That's amazing. No blocks, but we'll take that every day of the week. Okogie started, did what he does. Amen Thompson, 20 and 9 with 8 assists and a steal. Great all-around performance by Amen. That's what we have come to expect. Off the bench, Aaron Holiday with 13 points. Reed Shepherd with 10 points and 4 boards and a block. And no one had to carry too much of the load, like I mentioned, with the Rockets. It was just a good team effort. Now, for the next game, the Bucks defeated the Celtics in a bit of a surprise because, there's no Giannis. But, and that might sound weird to you because you're like, the Celtics don't have Tatum. They are not winning anything this year. The Celtics are 15 and 10 and, a really good team in the East right now. They have a shot at doing things this year. And the Bucks have been struggling a little bit at 11-15, but no Giannis. So, for the Celtics, Neemias Queta 9 and 10. We wish he had a couple blocks tonight, but no such luck. But great rebounding game by Neemias. Derek White, normally all-around player, but he shot it terribly tonight, 3 for 12. But Derek White had 11 points, 2 boards, 3 assists. Jaylen Brown with a breakout performance of 30 points, 3 boards, 3 assists. And he can do that every night on this team without Tatum. Peyton Pritchard, 11 points, 5 boards, 7 assists. Love those assists. did not shoot it well, and Jordan Walsh had a breakout scoring performance with 20 points, 8 boards, and 3 steals. And it seems as if this is how the lineup is going to stay. Jordan Walsh has been pretty consistent in the starting lineup over Josh Minot, over Anthony Simon. So, especially if he can put up games like this, 20 and 8, 8 for 10 from the field, 3 steals. If Jordan Walsh is on your waiver wire, he's a guy you need to consider definitely like highlighting and putting on your watch list. But it depends on the depth of your league. We'll just put it like that. But he should continue to get minutes on this Celtics team. But speaking of Josh Minot, 22 minutes, only had 7 points, but he did have 2 steals. Anthony Simon, 26 minutes, 7 points, 2 assists. And Hugo Gonzalez, 15 minutes, but only 6 points and 3 boards and 1 steal. So they have a lot of players they can throw in there, but they're just not. I'll mention Sam Hauser. He's a guy that's been pretty consistent, excellent three-point shooter. He went 0 for 10 from the field. 9 of those shots were three-pointers. 0 for 9 for Sam Hauser. He did have 7 boards, 1 assist, and 1 block, but that is an incredibly bad game. That is the worst game any shooter has ever had, I believe. And if he hits a couple of those shots, this game is totally different, which he normally would. He would at least hit 4 of those on a typical basis, but don't expect that. That's probably why Jordan Walsh was able to get some more points tonight. For the Milwaukee Bucks, Kyle Kuzma exploded with 31 points, 6 boards, and 1 block. He definitely matched Jaylen Brown, who had 30, and that's what caused the Celtics to have such a problem. Kuzma is not supposed to be getting 31 points. He's just not done it all year. He's around half that or a little bit less on average. So, great game by Kuzma. We hope he can be more consistent. Miles Turner, only 4 points, only 3 boards. Ugly game, but he had 2 blocks. That's what you got him for, but you need those rebounds as well. So, I don't know what was up with Miles in this game. Normally, when you see stats like that, it's like, what did he play, 8 minutes? He played 28 minutes. So, Miles Turner's not having a good season. He's going to have to turn it up. Gary Trent, 28 minutes, 13 points. He did what he did from 3-point range, 3 for 6. The player of the night, one of the players of the night, Kevin Porter Jr., 18 points, 10 rebounds, 13 assists, and a steal. That's a triple-double, ladies and gentlemen, for Kevin Porter Jr. That's not expected, but he has been back with a vengeance since his last setback earlier in the season. Now he's been back, for about 7 games or so, and, he's been dominating. Ryan Rollins was dominating before him, and Kevin Porter has came in. He's a more natural scorer, so I knew he was going to provide the points. I don't think anyone thought he would provide rebounds and double-figure assists. So Kevin Porter Jr. you can tell he is a different player this season because he's like, okay, this is my shot, with or without Giannis, because even with Giannis, there's not much scoring on this squad when Kuzma's not doing much. And then Ryan Rollins was coming in, and he was the talk of the town. So Kevin Porter saw his minutes and role like vanishing before his eyes. So now that he's came back this year, after his injury, after having to sit and watch that, you can tell he's more laser focused. And putting up games like this, he definitely should not be on your waiver wire. I doubt he would be, but you have to add him if he is. Off the bench, Bobby Porter's 27 points and 10 rebounds and a steal. Classic Bobby Porter's game. Really, really, really good effort. And Cole Anthony had 9 points, 5 assists, a steal and a block. And he's been putting up goose eggs the last few games. They haven't been using him much at all, but so it's good to see Cole Anthony get 19 minutes and do something out there. Now, I just want to tell you guys again, you're listening to the Box Score Breakdown presented to you by FanDuel, coming through you coming to you every Monday through Friday, giving you the game recaps. If you're listening to the Fantasy NBA Today feed, Doc and Brew will be back later. And if you're enjoying these episodes, please subscribe, like, comment, and view. And follow me on Twitter at WilliamIsBill. And remember, we're live, so submit your questions if you have any. I'll get to them at the end of the show. Next game, the Pelicans defeated the Blazers 143-120. That is a tremendous amount of points, 143. 120 is a lot, but 143 is crazy. But let's start with Shaedon Sharpe, the leading scorer for the Blazers, 21 points, 3 boards, 3 assists, and 1 block. And that's typically what he does. Nice scoring, not too many other stats. So if he can become more of an all-around player, he could really be an impactful, not only just fantasy player, but real-life player. Denny Avdija normally scores more than 16, but, he shot 33% from the field. 16 points, 6 boards, 6 assists, 1 steal, and 2 blocks. So good all-around game other than the shooting. Chris Murray started, 7 points, 9 boards, 1 assist, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. That is tremendous production in the stat category other than points. If Chris Murray is available, you're going to have to keep an eye out on him because they have been starting Sidy Cissoko, and tonight they started Chris Murray. He's played a lot in the past and not really shown too much, but tonight he showed a lot. 9 rebounds, very useful. 2 steals and 2 blocks. That's normally what Toumani Camara is putting up, and he didn't have either stat in that category. Speaking of him, Toumani Camara, 15 points, 4 boards, 5 assists. And, this was a blowout, but the fact that Chris Murray started is noteworthy. And Jeremy Grant, 16 points, 5 boards, 1 assist. If the Blazers can be consistent with their lineup, with their role, with their players, then you can trust them, but it's all over the place. Now, I mentioned Sidy Cissoko had been starting and not doing much at all. In this game, off the bench, they played 32 minutes, tied for the leading amount of minutes in the game, and he finally exploded with 20 points, 4 boards, 2 assists, and a block. And now Sidy Cissoko was a player when he was coming out of the G League. He came from the Ignite. Very high ceiling for his projected potential, but he needed some time to develop. He's got talent. He's just a project, basically. And if he's molded correctly, he can do this. He has not done it thus far this season, but this shows you a glimpse of what he can be if he keeps getting minutes and being developed. So that is a nice sign that he put up such good numbers tonight, but it was a huge blowout as well. So you have to remember that. And you know that because Ryan Rupert at 14 points, 6 boards, 3 assists, and 2 steals. And he normally is not getting in the game for that amount of minutes at all. He was a 1,000% project. Sidy Cissoko had some skill. Ryan Rupert has the body type, the frame, and was raw. So, the Blazers have some talent. It's going to take time. It's going to take patience and development. But, speaking of that, Yang Hansen, he still not getting minutes on this team. Right now, he's out with a facial injury, but he hasn't played much all year. Donovan Clingan was out this game with a lower leg. Robert Williams was out with an illness. So this team's all over the place. Like I mentioned, that's why Chris Murray started. It's because Donovan Clingan was out. So we'll see how long that will last. For the Pelicans, Herb Jones only played 14 minutes, had 4 points and 6 boards. Only 2 for 9 from the field, so that's terrible. Herb Jones has been in trade rumors. They're saying the Lakers are very interested in him. We'll see what happens with that. The Lakers want all the players, though, and never want to give up anything. So I doubt it will happen. Although it works half the time. Trey Murphy with 24 points, 5 boards, 4 assists, and 3 steals. Really nice game for him. Derek Queen, 17 and 5 with 7 assists and 2 steals. And what's more impressive or most impressive about Derek Queen is those assists. That's Julius Randle type of numbers. When you normally bigs get more rebounds than assists. There's very few that are getting more assists and rebounds. So, and then 2 steals on top, great shooting percentage. It's just a cherry on top for Derek Queen. Sadiq Bey had another bounce back game, 15 points, 8 boards, 5 assists. He had been killing it for a while. Then he took a back seat, and tonight he had a solid game. Jeremiah Fears with 19 points, 7 boards, 4 assists, 3 turnovers, but 1 steal. Shot amazing from the field, 9 for 14. Got to remember he's a 19-year-old going through his ups and downs, but tonight was a really good game. Off the bench, it was the return of Jordan Poole. He played 26 minutes. He's been out for like a month. 22 points. Great shooting performance from the field overall. Bad shooting performance from 3. He went 3 for 11 from 3. But still, his overall shooting percentage was not horrible, 8 for 19. But if he hit 2 more threes, he's close to 30 points. So Jordan Poole came back firing in his first game back after missing a month. He had 3 assists, 1 rebound, 1 steal, 1 block. This is a performance that I was not expecting. I thought he might be eased back in. But no, he came right back in firing. Micah Peavy with 5 points. And Bryce McGowan, huge performance, 23 points, 7 boards, 2 assists, and 2 steals. So off the bench, Bryce McGowan's, Micah Peavy have both been killing it. Jose Alvarado. And, in this one, Bryce McGowan's really took the cake. But again, 23-point blowout victory. So you got to keep that in mind. If the game was tighter, Bryce McGowan probably wouldn't have gotten that opportunity. He would have played more around 10 to 15 minutes as opposed to 30. So I wouldn't go crazy on the waivers with him, especially with Jordan Poole back. Jordan Poole's been out a month, so that allowed PV and McGowan to get a lot of run. That looks like that may be coming to an end now with PV back. We're going to have to keep an eye on Herb Jones. All the other starters played at minimum 25 minutes. He played 14. So did he get banged up? We're going to have to see. I haven't heard news about that yet, but keep an eye out on that. And for the final game of the night, another blowout. The Nuggets defeated the Kings 136-105. Let's start with Cam Johnson, 16 points, 3 boards, and a steal. And that's all the Nuggets need for him. A solid performance. Unfortunately, he shot well from the field, but from 3, 1 for 5. So we need 2 or 3 instead of 1. And you have a great game, but it is what it is. Spencer Jones started again, but only had 2 points and 3 boards. He's going to have to step it up like he had been to keep this starting role, but he only shot 1 time. So you can't say he had a bad game. He just was out there not doing much. Now, Jokic, complete opposite, doing everything. 36 points, 12 boards, 8 assists, and 2 steals, 14 for 16 from the field. Jokic is just unreal. He's like a robot. You put him out there, he's going to be great every game. It's just, does he ever have a bad game? No, he's a robot. Jamal Murray had a great game assist-wise. 11 points, 9 assists, 3 boards, and 2 steals. But, 4 for 13 from the field. He normally scoring a lot more than 11 points, but it is what it is. Peyton, he didn't have to. It's a blowout. Peyton Watson was able to step it out points-wise. 21 points, 2 boards, 1 assist, and 2 turnovers. He's like Asar Thompson a little bit. So that's a great performance. 7 for 10 from the field. You'll take that every day of the week. Hunter Tyson was able to get some minutes off the bench. Only 7 minutes, but he got 8 points. I'm a big fan of Hunter Tyson. He's not really been given an opportunity to play, but that's noteworthy to me. But not to y'all probably, unless you're in 30 deep. Jonas Valanciunas off the bench, 15 points, 6 boards, and 2 assists. Very solid. Tim Hardaway Jr., 11 points, 5 boards, 2 assists. I'll mention Bruce Brown because he had 7 assists, but he had 8 points and 5 boards. Great all-around game. as a bench player. You know, he did it all off the bench. 26 minutes though. So, but if you had 35 minutes, it would have been like a Josh Hart type of game. But still, really good game by Bruce Brown. Jalen Pickett 6 and 5 with 4 assists and 2 steals, solid as well. And it's when you see JV Jonas Valanciunas with 15 points, and I mean the Nuggets played everyone that was available tonight. You wonder, will DaRon Holmes be a factor this year? It's looking like a no. He was their first round pick last year. He missed all last year. Back this year, they brought in JV and he's moved to third string. So they're either not confident in DaRon Holmes or they are confident in Jonas Valanciunas. So we'll see. But keep an eye out on DaRon Holmes. He's like he's not even listed on the team tonight. He might be in the G League right now. But he was a guy a lot of people were looking forward to seeing this year. And for the Sacramento Kings, Keegan Murray, 15 points, 6 boards, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. That is a perfect game. He rinse and repeat. That should be Keegan Murray every night. Maxime Renaud, 15 and 9 with the 1 steal. I told you about him last episode. He's starting. The numbers are ramping up. Really good performance. You just wish he had blocks. But he's looking like he's going to be a points, rebound, field goal percentage player, at least in the meantime. Russell Westbrook, 17 and 3 with 5 assists. DeMar DeRozan, 11 and 3. Nick Clifford started. Good to see him back in the starting lineup. He might not be there long because he had a terrible game. 2 points, 1 for 8 from the field, 4 boards, 4 turnovers. Not your classic example of a true Nick Clifford game, but something to keep an eye on that he started. It's very weird they're not starting guys like Malik Monk and Keon Ellis and even Devin Carter, but this is the path they're going. But speaking of those guys, Malik Monk, 18 points, 4 boards, 5 assists. He did have 5 turnovers, but also 1 steal. And like I said, Malik Monk was the leading scorer off the bench. So I guess they just want him for that scoring punch off the bench, but he should be starting, honestly. Devin Carter, 15 points, 4 assists. And Keon Ellis, 8 points, 4 assists, 4 steals. Now, I know a lot of teams around the league would love to have Keon Ellis, and the Kings are not using him correctly. So I don't expect him to be on this team to finish the season. Or a lot of people will be moved, and then he'll be starting for the Kings. So we will see what happens with that. Now, talking about the performers of the night, Ivica Zubac, 33 and 7. Amen Thompson, 20 points, 9 boards, 8 assists. Jaylen Brown, 30 points. Kyle Kuzma, 31 points. I'll mention that as well. Bobby Portis, 27 and 10. Titi Sissoko, great all-around game, 20 points. Trey Murphy, 24 points, 3 steals. Nikola Jokic, of course, 36, 12, and 8. And Malik Monk with 18 points. And they didn't even mention Kevin Porter Jr. You got to mention Kevin Porter Jr., who had the triple-double with 18, 10, and 13. So let's see if we have any questions tonight. We do. Appreciate you guys for listening and watching. Oh, Herb Jones got ejected. That's why McGowan's played more. Appreciate that, Wolf Visor or Visor 1. Because that was weird to me to see Herb play that few minutes and I did not see an injury. All right, Wolf Visor also has a question. Would you rather stream Trey Jones, Justin Champagnie, or Drummond tomorrow? And if you need assists, you can go with Trey Jones. It just depends on what category you're looking for the most because these players are 3 different category experts. You know what I mean? Champagnie, and that's not Julian Champagnie. So Justin with the Wizards, he provides you with a little bit of scoring, 3-pointers. Drummond, of course, blocks and rebounds. Trey Jones with assists. So you can't go wrong if you want a certain category. You got 3 good options. Check out the minutes of the last few games, and that'll give you an idea. Really, you just want the minutes, and you need to see if Embiid is playing tomorrow. Any pickup recommendations for points leagues tomorrow? I need to look at the schedule, see who's playing tomorrow. I haven't looked ahead yet, but let's see real quick. Tomorrow, it's a big slate tomorrow. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games. So you'll have plenty of guys to consider. It's hard to know without knowing if your league is 10 team, 12 team, 14 team, 18. If you give me some guys on your waivers, I can give you more of a idea, because I'm in 30 deep leagues. I'm in 12 deep leagues. The waiver wires are all over the place. There's no consensus waiver. But the easiest way to look over that, and you're welcome, Wolfweiser, appreciate your comments, is to check out the last 4 or 5 games and see where the players are trending. And if a player has a great one game and it's because of an injury, like we just mentioned, Bryce McGowan's, next game, that's not going to happen. So look at somebody that has the opportunity for minutes is the most thing. And, you'll see where they have been consistent if you go by 4 or 5 game history. Thanks, Neil P1078, for that question. 10 Bulls, Hornets, and Wizards guys available. I would love to see a waiver guy on waiver wire list. But yeah, track that last 5 game history and you'll be in good shape. And if you have any more questions, you can hit me up on Twitter at WilliamIsBill and give me more specifics, and we could go through with that. But for now, thank you all so much for listening to the Box Score Breakdown presented to you by FanDuel. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and like I said, I appreciate you guys' comments. And Tim Woodson will be back tomorrow for tomorrow's 7-game slate. Appreciate you guys. Until next time, I'm out of here. Peace.